Welcome to Introduction to For Loops in JavaScript. This is exercise 2 in the Code Academy series. I am the coding teacher and I'm here to teach you how to code. So I skipped exercise 1 because the instructions were right. This was an annoying exercise and kind of pointless. Well, I guess the point of it was to show that how repetitive coding could get if you didn't have loops. Loops, their job is to repeat stuff, and we're going to learn how to use them to repeat stuff here. So change the 6 to 11. So we change the 6 to 11. What's going to happen? This statement, essentially, what does a loop do? What does a loop do? It grabs this statement and runs it for as many values of counter as there are. So counter starts at 1 and ends at 10, right? Because it keeps running so long as counter is less than 11. So the last value of counter is 10. So essentially what this block of code is going to do, what this for loop is going to do, is it's going to just say console.log 1, then console.log 2, console.log 3, console.log 4, console.log 5, all the way to console.log 10, right? So the value of counter, when it first runs, how does another way of looking at it would be, okay, so there's a variable counter that equals 1, and this loop is going to run so long as counter is less than 11, and at the end of every loop there will be counter will increment by 1. So is counter less than 11 for this iteration? Yes, because we just initialized it and it's 1. So we go ahead and run this code, and the code is just console.log counter, which in this case is 1, right? So 1 prints to the console. So we reach the end of the loop. Now we get back up here and we ask again, is counter, well, actually, before we get back up there, we increment the counter by 1. So counter is now 2. So we get back up here now and we ask, is counter still less than 11? Yes. We just increased it by 1. It's 2, but 2 is still less than 11. So let's go ahead and run this statement. Console.log 2. Now, increment counter by 1. So that's what happens when you reach the end of the loop. Now let's get back up here. Counter is now 3. Is 3 less than 11? Yes. So let's go ahead. Print console.log 3. Now, increment counter by 1. Now counter is 4. So let's get back up here. Is 4 less than 11? Yes. And so on and so forth until counter reaches 10. At which point, so let's say counter is 10. You say console.log counter. It prints. And then counter increments by 1 to 11. And then you go back here and ask, is 11 less than 11? No. So at that point, you suspend execution and you move on to whatever is next after the loop, which in this case is nothing. So we already changed the code. We already solved the exercise. That is it for this one. I hope that was helpful to you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.